Hello everyone, today I'm going to be making a video about something I've wanted to share with you guys for a long time. To celebrate the Swtorista YouTube channel reaching 150,000 subscribers, I'm going to be showing off all of my characters, all of their outfits, and all of their backstories. I hope you enjoyed joining me for this ride, and thanks so much for being a part of this huge project celebrating Star Wars: The Old Republic. At the time of recording this video, we're a very short time away from the 7.0 Legacy of the Sith expansion launching, and once that does happen, the way we play our characters and create characters is going to change dramatically. Right now, which advanced class you can play is completely tied to which story you're playing. For example, I'm a Vanguard and I'm a Trooper. If I'm a Trooper, I can only play a Vanguard and a Commando. I really don't have any other choices. That's changing coming up with the expansion. Not only that, subscribers will be able to add a second way of playing to their existing characters. So for example, right now, I'm a Trooper in the story, I'm a Vanguard when it comes to content, but I'll actually be able to add Operative to this character, and coming up, she'll be a Vanguard and an Operative. So one of the reasons I created so many characters is so that I could have eventually, over time, a character for every single combat proficiency, sometimes known as a discipline. You can see what discipline you are in your combat proficiencies right now, and she's a tank. Technically, right now, she can switch over to plasma tech or tactics, but at the moment, switching between these specs, these playstyles, is pretty difficult. You often have to switch your armor, you have to move around all your abilities, and I decided it might just be easier to create 48 different characters, one for each. With that said, let's start showing off all of my characters. So this is my main character. This character's name is Saya. This is actually the one you'll see in most of my videos. I actually picked an outfit specifically for her for the videos that I make for you guys. This isn't something she would wear normally. This is something I just created for the Academy so you guys could easily recognize my character across all of the videos. There is another outfit that she has that I don't really use as part of her story anymore that you might recognize, and that's this one. This is actually an older outfit that I had way back when I was looking for some super cool trooper armor back in the day, and I decided to use that as my picture that shows up on all my social media, my YouTube, stuff like that. So this is my sweet trooper outfit that I actually don't wear anymore. It's like in my legacy. She's also got some outfits related to the story. For example, in the story, you become somewhat of a emperor or empress for a short time, depending on your choices, and I wanted to make a very regal outfit for her. And I also made a upgraded version of that with some of the newer armors that have come out, kind of very fancy gold and white. But that's not really what this character is about. This character is very much a trooper. Very strongly a trooper, a member of the Republic military. When I was first creating her, a lot of my peers, my friends that I was going to play the game with before it came out, were going to be playing Jedi. So I thought it would be super cool to check out a different type of character. Someone who wasn't a Jedi, but who could still hold their own and who could very much fight against Sith and support her allies. So I created this character. The very first character I was going to create was a Twi'lek, and her name was going to be Cypher. And that was my original nickname, was Cypher. The idea of being a little cool techno slicer, smuggler kind of thing. But when I realized I wanted to be a tank, once I started learning more about what roles would be available in this game, I switched over to tank. The trooper is the only non-force using tank, so it made it very clear that this idea of a hacker, slicer, smuggler wasn't really going to fly quite as much, so I decided to make a rock, this very solid character that the other players in my guild could rely on, especially in roleplay. So I created Saya, the Republic trooper. She grew up on Coruscant. She's had a lot of run-ins with the underground, but always kept very optimistic and very positive about the fate of the world and that she can positively change it and can make a difference and can save people. So a lot of her backstory is going on different campaigns, and her story is actually tied in with some of my other characters that I'll show you up next. Before I do, I will show you some of her other outfits, which aren't quite as canon, because I know they'll make you guys laugh. We also have the chef outfit from the Feast of Prosperity event, very important. We have bathing suit. We had an event a little while ago we did on Rishi, the beaches of Rishi, which was pretty cool. And this one, I haven't found a reason to wear it, but I really like it, like a Spec Ops, Black Ops, stealth trooper kind of thing. And what's really cool is in the upcoming expansion, I mentioned we'll be able to pick up a second advanced class. They'll be called Combat Styles in the future. And I'll be able to play an operative as her second class, so she can really be a stealth trooper that fights with knives. This is my character Simona. She's probably my strongest roleplay character. She's a Jedi. She originally grew up on Terrace. Her parents were farmers. She had a brother there. Her little enclave farm townhouse was attacked by rat ghouls, and that's how she's connected to my previous character. My trooper was in the patrol that eventually saved them. She was found. She was told by her parents and brother to run away as fast as she could. She ran into a tunnel and she force pushed the rat ghouls away for hours until she was finally rescued. Unfortunately, her parents are passed away, and she kind of separated from her brother and doesn't really know exactly what happened to him, though he's secretly still alive. And so they're very vaguely connected, though they don't really talk anymore. Over the years, her story has kind of grown. In the Star Wars The Old Republic story, we have Zakuul attacks, and your character starts taking a greater and greater leadership role over time. I didn't want her to be like the Empress of the Galaxy or anything like that, but in my personal story for her, she's slowly moving up in the Jedi Order. She becomes a understudy for the Jedi Council, helping them in many ways, doing many of the same functions, but not having the actual title or authority to go with it. And then Zakuul attacks, and the entire Jedi Enclave kind of gets scattered in many ways. So she still has all these skills that she wants to bring to the table, and so I decided during the arc where the Jedi are very scattered, she is one of the people trying to bring them back together the best that she can. And I'm very excited to go into these later stories and later expansions where the Jedi are once again drawing together and trying to reform and re-heal. So this isn't actually her first outfit. She has another outfit. Her main outfit is this one. It's actually Juhani's armor from the planet of Dantooine, where we are now, from Knights of the Old Republic. I loved the sleek look. I decided she wasn't going to be a paragon of the Jedi, nor was she going to be an evil Darksider. I wanted her not necessarily to be a gray Jedi, but to be a Jedi in the shadows. She's still working for the light, but she's often in the background, and I wanted her outfit to reflect that. And she's green. She's a Mirialan character, who are naturally green, so I wanted to get her something that matched. Way back when, there were a lot less colors when it came to color crystals, and this is the black-green color crystal as part of the rat ghoul event, and I thought it would be so cool to give her this very thin lightsaber with the black-green colors that almost match her skin tone. As she started growing in the story and becoming more and more of a true Jedi, I gave her this other black outfit that I was showing off earlier, and this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi robes, the classic Jedi robes. They're called Steadfast Master, and I decided to plop a black dye in there, and I think I'm really, really happy with the way she looks in terms of how her character is right now. She's got a few other outfits. I've got this one. This is Jariel's outfit. Very nice Jedi exploration outfit. And she also has like a real fancy dress. This is for when she's attending fancy noble events as a Jedi and really needs to look the part of a consular or a diplomat. This is when she needs to be evil. This is my character Donaway. He is a trooper. He is the brother of that previous character Simona. So his parents were also attacked on their farm on Terrace, so they perished, but the sister and brother survived. while she had to run away, he had to stay there and actually watch his parents pass away in front of him as they were trying to protect him. Eventually, Republic troops came and saved him. So while she found her latent force powers while trapped out in the wilds, he instead saw Republic troopers save him and attempt to save his family, and it affected him in a big way and caused him to go join the Republic military. So he's very much a light-sided Republic trooper, not afraid to bash a few heads here. So this is his main outfit. I just wanted something with the older styles of trooper armor, nothing super new, because when I first created him was back in the day, and that's kind of how I imagine him as well, in those older styles. But he also does have one more outfit that I'll show you guys. I showed you one Black Ops trooper. Here's the second one. So he also has a dark trooper outfit as well for when I want him to go sneaking into the night. This is my character named Dema, and this is a very interesting character. I had the really unique idea of naming a character kind of like the word demon and make them a Sith, you know. But this character was actually a female character at first, and she was highly tied into my previous female green Mirialan character from Terrace. I had the idea that they would be roughly the same age and they would be character foils to each other. That character would be striving for the light, and this other red pureblood Sith female character would be striving for the darkness, very selfish, very conniving, wanting to do their own thing, not caring about anybody else and trying to rise the ranks and gain power. And she had some interesting force powers I decided for her. I decided she'd be able to kind of mimic the look of other people, and she would because they were kind of the same age and same size, she would mimic the look of that Jedi and use it to her advantage. And we especially used that in roleplay. It was a lot of fun being able to play a sneaky character that could mess up other players' perception of the situation. After a while, I found out I didn't really like playing that character, so I deleted her and recreated something kind of similar, a red Sith pureblood who is still a Sith warrior, but is no longer a female character and no longer has that backstory anymore. So this is right now just a very cool kind of generic Sith apprentice named Dema. He doesn't have any other looks. I just really wanted to create a really neat character that hung out on Korriban a lot. This is my character named Prosper. Unfortunately, during a server merge a while ago, I actually lost the name Prosper, like the word, as in to do well in life. I thought it'd be a great smuggler name. But I lost it and I got real cranky when I had to go rename my character, so I renamed him Disconnect, as in you have disconnected from the server, mostly so I could troll my guildmates. When you log in game, if you're in a guild, other players will say Disconnect has logged in or Disconnect has gone offline. But I do have very strong roleplay story for this character and still really maintain it to this day, even though he's gone through a bit of a name change. This character, I wanted to explore the idea of not everyone is the big damn hero, and sometimes people are just left in their wake. So I have my main character is that trooper, and I said a lot of her little backstories going on different missions for the Republic military, and I decided one of them would be just absolute crazy, taking down a Star Destroyer. I had in the story that she was able to actually crash the Star Destroyer into a second Star Destroyer and like bring them to the ground. Like really epic style story. Probably a little over the top, but that's okay. It's my story, so it doesn't matter. But this character's wife was on one of those Star Destroyers and obviously got killed by the negligent actions of the Republic by this trooper who clearly didn't care about anyone who actually worked or lived on the ships, who are manned by hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. So he wanted to take his revenge. It wasn't a passionate, bloodthirsty revenge. It was more like, this is what I need to do before I die. I need to kill the person who murdered my wife. So he was part of a big story arc between my main character, another player, and this character where he basically wanted to hunt her down. He eventually got what he felt was his revenge. He killed the person closest to my character, and he felt that was more than revenge enough at the time. And so he's kind of in limbo. Another really cool thing that I decided for this character was, since he was going to be turning into somewhat of a bounty hunter, he would sometimes take kind of odd jobs hunting people down but I didn't really want him to be an actual bounty hunter with the heavy armor, more like a finding them kind of thing. Maybe murdering them, more like an assassin of the underworld. And so I decided that he would actually have two different dogs. Two different dog-like animals, kind of like the Norse god myth legend that would accompany him in his travels and help him. He doesn't like them, they're not pets, he probably kicks them while they're sleeping, but they help him get the job done. So for a short time he had two dog-like creatures with cybernetics. I think they got killed one by one in our story. So I think along the way another friend of mine said they wanted to play a Beastmaster character, so he bought two ack dogs from them a little while later. This is my character named Bitter Creek. She is also a trooper, and you may notice she's a bit similar looking to my other main character. She's got white hair, pale skin, and is a trooper. Back at the same time I was playing that Disconnect character, my guild was doing a lot of roleplay, and I was doing a lot of roleplay with them, and one of the story arcs that I created for them was I told them, we're having a roleplay night, show up to the event with a companion that's dressed the exact same way as your character is. And so I made a little crazy plot that they had all been cloned by the scientists, and that companion was now their clone to do with as they chose. So we had a little roleplay arc about it that night, and then they could take it whatever way they wanted. This was actually, oh my gosh, I'm just having a really good memory. This was before me and Mr. Swtorista were really together. We didn't know each other very much at that point. We had raided together a little bit. I had already kind of had a little crush on him, but I didn't know him super well at this point. He is very interested in roleplay, just like I am, and character creation and story building and stuff like that. He shot his clone right in the middle of the event. He didn't give anyone even time to react. He had his character kill his clone on sight the second it showed up. Because in his mind, his character is an underworld kind of agent, a bit of a slicer. There's no way he would allow something that disturbing connected to him to exist. So he completely disrupted the flow of things, and it made me very angry and very happy at the same time, because I was happy he really took the prompt and rolled with it, but I was like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing with this character. You're supposed to have a clone. Your clone is dead now. So for my character, my trooper, she got her clone, and this is her clone, Bitter Creek. This character, the Republic military decided to take her in. I didn't exactly decide how that went, but she decided to become a trooper, and the military was curious to see what a trooper of the same DNA and physical state would be like without all the baggage that my former trooper had, because at that point she'd gotten in a bit of hot water with the Republic military with her little story arc. And so this is Project Bitter Creek, not her actual name because she doesn't have a name, she's a clone. And she's actually a commando, so technically not exactly the same as my main character, but it gave me a really fun chance to check out commando early on. This is, I'm showing on the, this is my character Sancia, and she is very much the opposite of all these other characters in the most specific way. All of those characters are tied into the stories in some way. This character was literally created to be a pretty princess. I want a pretty sparkly Barbie character, and that's all she is. I also wanted to create my first damage-based character, and I had seen my friend Aravel, who actually wears this exact outfit on his Jedi character, playing the telekinetics combat style, and I fell in love with the way it looked. It just looked so amazing watching him throw all these balls of light and rocks and fume. He plays it really well, so it goes extremely fast as well. So I decided to check out telekinetics and create a character that was purely for looks. I made her a little story later, but it's pretty ridiculous. She is pure Dark 5, very dark side Jedi. I'm surprised she hasn't been kicked out of the Jedi Order or arrested or something by now. But I decided as the story was progressing, around the time that Shadow of Revan had come out, I decided she wanted to marry the Emperor and become Empress. For those of you who have played the expansions, you can kind of imagine how that may have changed over time. But she's definitely an ambitious one. I do have a really cool outfit for her because I like to play her in operations and flashpoints, and this is her outfit. I decided a long time ago she would have a color scheme that she carries across all her outfits that I make over time, and hers is kind of a cream white with that minty green color. I decided to kind of make this really shiny, sparkly outfit, but also show off her nature of being very dark-sided with her mask. She's got kind of a creepy bone mask. This is definitely not something you should wear on your Jedi if you don't want to scare children. This is my character. Oh, camera. This is my character named Eavesdrop. She was the second character that I created. I wanted to create an Imperial character because I was playing only on the Republic side for months and months, and some friends had asked me to join them over on the opposite faction. So I thought a Chiss Sith Inquisitor would be pretty cool, pretty uncommon. Very pretty looking while also being kind of scary looking. She obviously has the red eyes of the Chiss, and I gave her lots of scars or burn markings. And when I was dressing her up, I wanted her to dress up with some of the arcane ideas of the Sith. I really liked all these like creepy little sigils and kind of biotic alchemy kind of things going on with the armor. So this was her first set of armor. She originally had a matching cyan lightsaber. Probably went for the blue because she's blue. And this was her second outfit. I really like this one. I put on a type of outfit that was a little more professional, a little more good for sneaking in the darkness, except for the glowy bits. This is the Sith Recluse breastplate, and I got a really cool mask for her for this one. I love this mask. This is probably my favorite headpiece in the entire game, and it's actually something you can craft as a synth weaver on the Imperial side fairly easily. I put together this outfit for her when we were in the Eternal Throne, the Zakul age. I wanted to give her something kind of similar to what they were already wearing in the story. And this is her current outfit. I actually stole this outfit look from a friend. She was wearing something very similar, and I really liked it. This is the Revan, Jedi Knight Revan robes, except I plopped a black and red dye in there to give it a more evil look, and she's got a purple lightsaber to go with it. So I really like running around on this character. She's an Inquisitor, and she's a assassin, so she can stealth around, and she's my main Imperial tank. This is my character named Narrator. She was originally created with the actual name Narrator for when I was running those roleplay events for my guild. I thought it might be cool to have an actual character who was the narrator, who could provide information during the story without being an actual character. So I created her. Eventually, we had a server merge, so I had to rename her to the name Story Space Narrator, but she'll always be Narrator in my heart. However, although she was created just for the purpose of being able to talk in general chat, I did eventually start playing her with Mr. Swtorista, who also created an agent, and we were about level 10, 20 or so, and caught up with each other and started doing this story together. This was also before we were really dating or married or anything like that, and it gave us a really good chance to get to know each other because we'd play over voice or text chat and just run around and do the stories together and kind of decide how our characters acted together as a team, as a pair. And this character, I decided she was actually, like many Twi'lek in the Empire, she was a slave, she was a dancer girl, and she actually had her tongue cut out for I don't know, for being a bad slave. And so she actually communicated through a series of hand motions or just different various ways that her and her partner had figured out over the years. She has a couple different outfits. They're all related in some way to her being an Imperial agent. This is her first one. I really love the white Imperial agent outfit, and I need an excuse to wear it on a character. I love how some of the hats in the game tend to kind of work with the Twi'lek Leku. They're not specifically designed for it, but it looks like they have little holes for the Leku to come out of. I've got this outfit when she's ready to go be more of a little action-packed spy. Sniper, you know? She's actually an operative. She stabs things. And in the most recent expansion, this is the endgame gear. It's called the Tactician set for the operative. And I decided to plop a black-white dye on it and give her a matching weapon. So here's where we start getting into my characters that don't necessarily have an extremely strong backstory or roleplay story. Many of them don't have really any at all. And this character is named Coldtide, and he was created as part of a guild event. For the guild that I'm in, we have a very fun event called Cosmic Conquest. And in this event, we all pre-create a level 1 character. And when the next week of Conquest happens, we all have to start and only play on that level 1 character as much as possible. And it's a race to gain the most Conquest points possible within the week, starting on that level 1 character. It's very fun, very furious. I don't compete to win, but I like being able to participate and kind of do the same kind of events together that we don't normally do a lot anymore, because most of us have level 75 characters at various stages of progression. So this character, I decided for him, he was going to be in a secret order of Jedi killers. That was about all that I decided for him. I really didn't decide that I wanted to elaborate for this kind of throwaway character. I just gave him a super cool outfit. Here's what he looks like with his hood down. Obviously, he's going to be hooded. He's part of a secret order. And I was also kind of playing around with the idea of the secret order having a creepy skull mask as well. While I was creating him, since I had we had to wait for the actual start point, I made him also a kind of cool, high-level outfit, if he ever got that far. I made him a sneaky outfit, so when he needs to go infiltrate something, he'll wear his engineer's kind of outfit. And I also made him this one. I knew we would be hosting a world boss event during the Conquest event. And so I decided, what is the funniest thing that I can make to take them world boss hunting? And I decided Mr. Spaceman. Yes, this character is very, very serious. He also was participating in the swoop event. So I wanted to give him a swoop racing outfit. He's all ready to go greaser style here. And he also has Galactic Starfighter outfit. We were doing a lot of events to try and gain as many conquest points as possible. But I do really like the idea of being a part of a secret order of Jedi killers, but without having any other story, because it allowed me to create some more characters in the same line. This is my character named Flood Tide. By the second time Cosmic Conquest had come over to our guild, we'd switched over to Republic side. And I decided to create another character kind of still in that same secret order of Jedi killers. I decided to give him a different outfit, but kind of keep that dark blue-gray color scheme. And I decided he was kind of a infiltrator. He trained as a Jedi, but all the while keeping his identity secret. And will actually one day try and murder all the Jedi he can get his hands on. But right now, he's still training. He's only level 44. This character is for the third and most recent round of Cosmic Conquest. This time around, I didn't really have a chance to play her, but I still wanted to create another character in the secret order of Jedi killers, and maybe if I could reach Conquest on her. And she came about at a time when I was very, very interested in the lore surrounding the Celestials and the very, very early creation of the Star Wars universe. And this mostly exists far outside the movies, even outside the games. There is some lore about the creatures that the Celestials summoned over time and their progeny and stuff like that. And this character is named Lowtech Lore, because Lowtech is one of the creatures that were summoned from the Abyss, and is also the name of the creature that you fight at the end of the Operation Terror from Beyond. So you might be able to see visually where this is going. I decided to try and create a character that was essentially the Terror from Beyond, but in a humanoid shape. So I've tried to find some kind of creepy armor for her that would have the blue and white coloring with a dye, and I made her a chiss with kind of fancy hair. I decided to make her kind of like a matriarch looking. I gave her some creepy little lines around her eyes. I couldn't give her tentacles, shockingly. Well, I did make her as cool as I thought I could make her, and I gave her a real creepy servant in the form of a companion and gave her a blue lightsaber to match. I really wanted to name her Terror from Beyond, but none of the different variations I wanted to use was working. A majority of my other characters that I created all have something to do with trying out a different class, advanced class, combat style, discipline, stuff like that, or trying out a different species or some other storyline that I haven't tried out yet. So this is my first sniper character. I wanted to try out the Ratataki because I hadn't played one yet, these white species with the tattoos, and I wanted to give her a name. Couldn't really think of them, so I decided to name her Be Quiet. Her name, yes, is Be Quiet. And so I just gave her a very classic sniper outfit. I like this one a lot. And it is called the Intelligence Agents set. I also decided to give her a real creepy outfit. I was thinking of kind of Asajj Ventress and how she doesn't wear a lot of clothes in the TV series, but it doesn't change the fact that she's kind of terrifying. You probably don't want to go near her, even though she doesn't wear a lot of armor. So I gave her like a ghost outfit. And when I wear that outfit, I throw in one of the holographic weapon tunings. So ba-boom, even her weapon is a ghost, and she's got a cool electronic white eye patch as well. This is my character named Solst. She's my Jedi Knight. I created her with the idea that I really wanted to create a Jedi Knight Guardian. I didn't have one yet, and I named her kind of like the solstice or the sun, and I had this idea that I really wanted to create an all-white character, especially because back then I didn't have quite nearly as much credits and cartel coins amassed as I did now, and it would be really impressive to have a character that did have that white dye along with a really cool outfit and take advantage of a white crystal that I'd gotten somewhere along the way. So she's a bastion of light, the defender of the Jedi. She doesn't really have much story or personality. I was originally playing her as a tank, but I recently tried out Vigilance and I really like it. So somewhere down the line, I'm going to have to create another character who will actually be my tank, because she's staying Vigi for now. This is my character Crew Mix, and he's very, very new. After I tried out Vigilance on that other Jedi Knight Guardian, I wanted to try out the third combat style discipline for the Jedi Guardian, and I wanted to try out Focus. I had never really played it before, and I decided instead of messing up all the hotbars of my original character, I'll just make a whole new character. And I decided I wanted to give him a little bit of story, not a ton, not a whole backstory, but I decided that I wanted to make either a Chiss or a Cathar, because I didn't have very many of those types of characters, and I couldn't decide which. We did some Googling. Apparently you cannot make a Chiss Cathar hybrid character. It doesn't really seem to work out. So I decided to make him a Cathar, but he'll have a parent who is a Cathar and a parent who is a Chiss, and kind of be part of a blended family. So I decided he's got an older sister who's already in the Jedi Order, and he's joining later down the line. And his mother was a Chiss who had taken her family away from the Ascendancy when she realized her daughter was Force sensitive, and somewhere along the lines met his father, and now their family is all together. This is my character named Marauder Carnage. This is where I started running out of names to name my characters, and I was having trouble keeping track of them all. So I started giving some of them names that would make it easy to pick them out from the lineup of like 50 characters when I was looking for them. So yes, his name is Marauder Carnage. Apparently his title is Friendly Marauder Carnage, and I decided to make him look the most like a Carnage Marauder that I could possibly make him. So I gave him a super edgy Marauder outfit. Oh, it looks so cool. It's called Sinister Warrior. He's got some super awesome lightsabers, and he's about to cut some people to pieces. That's all I got. I have fun running around with him in flashpoints. This is my character named Flagship. I actually created this as a very, very silly character way back in the day. I was playing with a friend on Hutta. We needed to make some new characters for something, and I named her Flagship and was laughing my butt off that the name was allowed to be used and also available, as we had just recently gotten our actual guild flagship, which is something you have as a guild that will let you travel around, and it's very cool. It's very, very noticeable that my character is named Flagship, and most people know what it means. And so I decided, since I'd gotten that name, by gosh darn it, I was going to use it. And when I was on Hutta, I was pretending to be a sentient cyborg flagship in general chat, and like responding to people as if I was the Borg or some like sentient robot or something like that, coming down from the sky telling them what to do. All caps, obviously. Over time, I started playing this character more and more, and she actually became my main bounty hunter. And I kind of threw away the silly idea of being a sentient flagship, and instead took my goof-offery and made her into my main Galactic Starfighter character. So when I was playing Galactic Starfighter, I was playing on the character named Flagship. I had a lot of fun with that too. It made me love Galactic Starfighter a lot more, having something silly to start with, and once I started learning how to play it, it got a lot more fun. As a bounty hunter, though, she has two really cool outfits. She's got this one. I don't have a ton of story. The bounty hunter story in the game is pretty simple. You're a bounty hunter, you go after high-profile targets. There's not a ton of intrigue or anything like crazy story going on. You are exactly as advertised, and I kind of wanted to keep that idea. So she's got that outfit. And this is a kind of more Mandalorian style outfit that I got for her. It's kind of like the ones that you can see on Dromund Koss. I noticed when I was poking around here that I also had a Hoth outfit for her when she was leveling on Hoth. This is my character named Blood Tie. Like many of my other characters, she was created just to try out a different combat style. So she is a Sith juggernaut, and I just wanted to make her look like a kind of cool Sith pureblood. The couple of other Sith purebloods I've created over the years, they're all like bright, super bright red, very saturated, like a fire hydrant. And I decided I wanted to make one that was a little more elegant and was maybe a darker red with a bit less color. So I play her mostly as a tank, but that may flip around in the future. This is my character, Willowcrest. This character wasn't created to try out a different spec. Instead, I was looking at my Steam achievements, and I realized although I had a Sith Inquisitor who was all the way in Knights of the Fallen Empire, I had never done the special Sith Inquisitor quest that exists on the planet of Rishi during the Shadow of Revan expansion. You can only do it if you haven't started the Knights expansions and also did finish your class story. So I decided I'd level a new Sith Inquisitor through the class story. And while I was doing it, I would kind of create a character, a Sith Inquisitor, that was different from the other ones that I already have. So I showed you Eavesdrop, my Sith Inquisitor. She's an assassin. She's just pretty evil. She's going up the charts of the Sith, and she wants to be on the Dark Council and stuff like that. She really has no qualms about killing anybody in her path. And I also have another Sith Inquisitor on my free-to-play account named Javik, who won't show up in this video because it's hard to get into that account now that I'm on Steam. And that character is very light-sided. He's a victim of circumstances. He doesn't really want to hurt anyone, but he doesn't want to be killed by the Sith either while he's an acolyte. And so this character is somewhere in between. She's conniving, she's very shrewd, she wants to get ahead in life, but she doesn't really enjoy killing people. She's happy to do it if it's the most efficient way to get to her goals, but a lot of the time she will get her way through diplomacy because it's a lot cleaner than chopping someone's head off. So I just gave her a very, very cool look. She's a Miraluka, which means she can't see. She's got this kind of color scheme of blue and white, and I was very happy to give her this outfit. I've had people ask, why does she have a cyan blue lightsaber if she's a Sith Inquisitor? And the answer is, well, I liked this outfit and I wanted something that would match. This is my Gunslinger. His name is Omar Petit. He's actually kind of a cosplay character. I don't have very many of these. He's very vaguely based off of the character from The Wire. It's a TV show that both me and Mr. Swtorista really, really like, and I really like the character named Omar. He's a very unique character, and the actor who portrays him, who has sadly recently passed away, did a great job at it, at this very unique character, and I just like fell in love with this show. So I was like, yes, I need to create a gunslinger. What am I going to do with him? Let's create Omar. His name is Omar Petite because the character in the show is named Omar Little. Apparently someone else loved the show too and already got that name. So I took this one. I'll take Petite, which is little in French. And so this is my main gunslinger character. I've been playing on him quite a bit recently, taking him into operations and stuff like that when I'm not sure what character to bring, because he's a lot of fun to play. This is my character. Alright, some of the names are getting goofy. This is my character named Calyx Lightsaber. For this character, I was working on the item collections on Swtorista.com, and I really wanted a picture of, well, Calyx double-bladed lightsaber that you get through the story. So I created a Sith Inquisitor, leveled them through the story, just so I could go get that double-bladed lightsaber from the Sith Inquisitor story. I have actually been playing him since then. He's a Deception Assassin, and the reason he has an eye patch, he didn't start off with that. I decided I also wanted to play him through the Shadow of Revan story just for fun. We were doing some lore hunting, so I decided to give him an eye patch since as part of that story you can technically be confused as a pirate, and I really wanted to sell it. As I mentioned, I created a lot of characters just to try out different combat styles and disciplines. So this character is literally named Sorcerer Space Lightning, and he is my lightning character. I wanted to make a really cool looking Twi'lek who looked like he was participating in the arcane arts of Sith sorcery. So I just gave him a really neat kind of creepy outfit, a lot of the slave brands that you can use as only a Sith sorcerer, some cool tattoos, just all out the works. I don't play him that much, but I probably will in the future as I start exploring some more of these classes. This is my character named Lethality. Shockingly, he was created to try out the Lethality operative discipline so I could fight lethality, but it's spelled wrong because the original one was already taken. So I wanted to make a really toxic kind of character because lethality is all about fighting with poisons. You got poison grenade, poison knives, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And so I created a green Nodlin to go with all the green toxic stuff, and I also used a Sith Inquisitor outfit that's created through synth weaving to give him that kind of corrupted biotic look. And he also has a matching Varactile. This is my character named Duskane, and she was created because I wanted to make a Sith Marauder type of character that can wield two lightsabers while still being a very Sith Imperial faction character. And you'll often see her showing up in my videos showing off different types of lightsabers because she can hold two at once. And for her, I created her during this special Dark versus Light event that happened a long time ago. It's retired now. And during that event, to reach one of the tiers of rewards, you had to make one Imperial character and one Republic character. And so that character that was wearing all white, she was my Republic character, and this was my dark side character, my Imperial character, and she is wearing all black. They're kind of opposites of each other. And I had seen some players do some cool stuff with this Visas Mar set, and particularly the helmet. And I wanted to play with the idea of dressing kind of like a Miraluka, but not actually being one, and taking advantage of the other visuals the other species provided. She is actually a Zabrak. And once she's in her full power, I mixed it with the Valen outfit, Wicked Huntress outfit, and you're able to wear the Visas Mar helmet under that hood, kind of giving it that double hooded look. I really, really liked the way that came out. I never had a good chance to use it, but I also made a white version of the armor just because it looks really, really good to me. And so this character doesn't have much of a backstory, but she is my other Marauder. This is my character named Sun. He's one of my few characters that actually is low level, and I don't want to level him up too fast because I really, really like this character. His name is actually Sun, S-U-N. I have no idea how I got that name. I think somewhere along the way someone had deleted their character, and I was just lucky enough to be the first one to think to try it out. And for me, he's a paragon of the Jedi. He's very noble. He's a defendant of the Jedi Order. He's very, very light side without being preachy. And I really, really like this character. So this is his Padawan outfit. And I actually had the idea of basing him off of another character from a TV show called Firefly. It's an older sci-fi TV show that I really like. And there's a character that I love named Shepherd Book. He's kind of like a preacher in the show, but he's always very much there for the people in his crew. And they did not have anything close to what he might look like because he's like an old man in the show. So I decided to make kind of a younger, stronger, more martial version of him, and maybe like he grows into this older, wiser person who fights with words and not stabbing people. So this is his Padawan outfit, his early on outfit, and as he's working on Tython, he gets something that's a little more appropriate for fighting as he learns he wants to be good with combat. And then as he becomes more of this paragon and real symbol of the Jedi Order, I gave him this really cool gold set. It's called, I believe it's called Jory Daragon? Yeah, Jory Daragon's tunic, which is a big part of the lore. And later on, when you go to fight the big bad guy, I gave him this outfit. And I really loved seeing it in the cutscenes. He looks like he's a fully grown kind of Jedi Master who has mastered many aspects of the Force and is ready to really save the day. This character's name is Mando Vanguard, and before the Legacy of the Sith expansion, if you wanted to wield a blaster rifle, you would have had to play a Vanguard or an Operative. That's still going to be true going forward, but at the time, the Operative could only be played by the Imperial agent, and the Vanguard could only be played by the Troopers. So if you wanted to wield a blaster rifle, you had to make one of those two. But there's a super cool weapon that's a blaster rifle that cannot be wielded by bounty hunters, and I, like many people, fell in love with the Mandalorian and wanted to make the Mandalorian character. So I did my best to kind of recreate his outfit. It's a mix and match of a bunch of different pieces. And I wanted to be able to wield his blaster rifle. So I made a Vanguard, named it Mando Vanguard, and made him look like a bounty hunter. This is my character named Sabotage. She was created to play the Saboteur spec of the Gunslinger, and she was also created because I wanted to have another character that I could wield two different blaster pistols on at the same time. I kind of created her with the character randomizer, and I got this really cool looking Mirialan character, and I put this armor on her to show off for a video. Just because it was a new armor, I wanted to show people how it looked, but I realized that it fit her really well, and I just decided to keep it. This is my character named GTN Please. So back in the day, I had finally created a first Imperial character that I could play with my teammates who are playing on Imperial side, especially at a high level for things like operations. But I found out that sometimes I was still going to need a second Imperial character. I did not know what to make. So I made this character. Maybe she had an actual name back in the day. It probably was something dumb like Swtorista's tank. But I created her to be the mirror of my Republic tank, so I would know how to play her for the most part. However, I found out later on that the economies between the two different servers varied a lot. So I created this character back when server transfers were very cheap for a short time. They were only like 90 cartel coins, and I would shuttle her between the different servers, picking up deals or picking up stuff I was looking for. So at one point I had to rename her. I just lost the original name. I wasn't very sad about it. I renamed her GTN space PLS. So GTN Please. And so she's my main power tech tank on the Imperial side now. And she's also sticking with the ridiculous name. Along the lines of wanting to try out different characters, I really wanted to learn how to heal. So out of the 3 different ways to heal, I decided I wanted to go with Force healing. So I have a Jedi Sage, and I was not feeling creative about the names. So I decided to name her Sage Heal. She's a Nautilin. And I've actually brought her into operations and stuff like that, and I've decided I quite liked Sage healing quite a bit. After I figured out that yes, I did like the force healing style of healing, I pretty quickly made a mirror character who plays the exact same way. This one, though, is named Sorcerer Heals. She is a sorcerer healer. She actually was a Togruta, because I try not to make too many characters that are similar. I try to kind of vary them for species, gender, the way they look, colors and patterns and stuff like that. But we're doing a very special thing called a Nautolan-only raid, where we ran a 16-person operation with all Nautolans, and I was originally playing on my damage character, the kind of green toxic one, but we needed a healer. So I logged on to my Togruta healer and switched her over to a Nautolan. This is my character named Shaw Chizla, you know, like Shay Vizsla. It was made as a bit of a joke, but I actually really like the character herself, even if her name is a bit silly. She was created a long time after my original Imperial agent. My original Imperial agent was that blue Twi'lek that I played with Mr. Swtorista. However, somewhere down the line, he kind of stopped playing, we stopped playing them together, and that character never finished her story, and it felt kind of wrong to finish it without him. So I started a brand new Imperial agent. I wanted to play the story all in one big block of time, so I created this Chiss character named Shaw Chizla just to go through the Imperial agent story. This is my character named Sorcerer Madness. You might be able to guess what type of combat style and discipline she is. She's a sorcerer, and she's the Madness spec. But, I actually haven't played her since shortly after I created her, because I decided to use her for the big jumping puzzle on Makeb to get this Datacron, and I've parked her butt there ever since. She's level 75, but she's never actually done any content in the game, because she just waits here and waits to summon players when we do events or friends in my guild so that they can come get this Datacron without having to jump for it. This is my character named Tarenta. She's one of the few low-level characters that I have that I consider one of my main characters, and she is a bounty hunter. And I had the idea of playing her as kind of more of like an old-school Mandalorian, where they had a big focus on killing and fighting beasts, creating this super unique kind of weird-looking armor and stuff like that. She's a Chiss. She's a mercenary, so she's got those double pistols. Her colors are red and blue. And I really like this armor set she has. She's another one of those characters I don't really want to level up. I want to keep her at a low level for as long as I can. I did create one other outfit for her. This armor kind of came out recently, and it's the My SWTOR Hunter set. And I thought it might be cool to kind of have an upgraded look ready for her whenever she does reach a higher level. She'll have something a little more appropriate for her station. I did try and create a third outfit for her, but it never really quite worked for me. I don't know if I like it or not. I wanted to play more into the idea of bones and different parts of animals on her armor, and I put this together, but a lot of the stuff dies real funky, real weird, so it doesn't quite match. I also have some more characters that have a good chance of being deleted once the expansion actually hits, but I thought you guys might like to see them. So there was a project that I wanted to work on a while ago where I made one of each of the 8 classes, and I leveled them up slowly from level 1, trying to collect all the class-specific, level-specific armors that exist in the game. I don't know if this will still exist in the expansion, but there's some armor sets that you can only get on, say, a trooper between the levels of 16 and 21 if you do Conquest or Heroics, so it's a very narrow range, and you have to be very careful not to out-level it if you're trying to collect the whole set. On top of that, I also have a couple characters that I created just for modeling armor. So I've got Model, I've got Model Padawan, Model Cartel, and these characters exist and will probably be deleted at some point. I've got Swtorista giveaway. But I wanted to show you the characters that exist just for doing that silly project. So I've got Quick Travel. He's all blue. I have no idea why he is naked. He probably has a real outfit, but it's gone missing. We've got Virulence, the level 12 Imperial Sniper. I bet you anything he was going to play the Virulence Sniper spec. But of course, it's spelled wrong. My Jedi Sentinel is named Tortoise Enforcer. He's not a Nautolan. He's a tortoise. He's level 12 as well. We've got Bail Oregano. I thought I was super clever to name him Bail Oregano like the spice instead of Bail Organa. until someone else pointed out that his name should have been Basil. Oregano. Probably gonna delete him and remake him with the proper name. He's a power tech. We've got, oh yeah, the Sith Juggernaut, named after the Kool-Aid Man. We've got lore problems. The Sith pureblood Jedi Shadow, who nobody seems to notice he's parading around Tython with a bright red skin. And lastly, we have Munchy Crunchy, the Sith assassin who eats ghosts for breakfast. If you made it this far, congratulations! You made it through all of my characters. I decided not to show you the ones on the other servers. I think you'll be alright. I hope you enjoyed this, as it was a celebration of reaching 150,000 subscribers, as well as looking forward to the future of the game as we're going towards the expansion. If you want to have more Star Wars The Old Republic videos, not quite as silly as this one, show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel, and if you want to support this huge project creating guides, news, and coverage about the game, visit Swtorista.com/support. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you later. May the Force be with you.